right, Shalom. This is the brother Samat coming from the Trump and the Philly camp. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who definitely rule well, taught me this truth, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there, pushing this word and truth sincerely, all right? Now, I just wanted to come with a quick, lesson in the spirit. Mostly, I'm going to bring out some precepts, but, I'm going to do a little dialogue, pretty much just, going through personal testimonies of myself. But, ultimately this video is to try to, uplift you brothers, kind of put your mind in the right place, because we all going through the same thing, as hopeful men of the Lord, and hopeful elect, we all going through pretty much the same things. Every brother has their own lot, different circumstances, different situations. But for the most part, this video, I'm going to talk about, catching the afflictions and catching hell, as a man of the Lord. So definitely a lot of tribulations that we go through, daily, whether it's in the flesh or whether it's in the spirit. You have friends that you come into the truth. You have friends that turn against you, family that turns against you. You lose a lot on this side, but it's really not a lot when you think about all that we're going to gain. Like it says in Romans 8:18, it says, roughly paraphrasing, that basically all the affliction and hell that we're going through now is not worthy to be compared to the glory that's going to be revealed in us. So, I always like to say, you have to be willing to lose everything in order to gain everything. You lose everything on this side, but you gain everything on the other side in the kingdom, man. When Yahweh Shai comes and restores the elect, bro. You lose a job on this end, Yahweh Shai give you a new job. You lose a woman on this end, Yahweh Shai give you a new woman or more women. You lose friends on this side, Yahweh Shai give you brothers, man. Real friends, because the people you had in the world, you really think they're your friend, but they're really not your friend, man. I'm gonna start with this first. I'm gonna start with Ecclesiasticus 2:1. It says, "My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation." Yeah, when you come to serve the Lord, you prepare your soul for temptation. If you're just coming into this truth, and you really just learning you're Israelite, you haven't hit the highways and hedges yet, you really haven't done videos or anything yet, you're kind of still learning, you're still getting the milk. I'm gonna let you know now, you're going to catch hell when you come into this truth. You want to be a man of the Lord, you got to catch hell. And the reason why you catch this hell is because ultimately it's to build you up in the spirit. It's to build you up to be a man, a real man according to the scriptures. It builds up your integrity. It builds up your patience. It ultimately stirs your mind to doing certain things. You might catch hell financially. And in the world, you might have been a splurger. You might have been always needed the newest sneakers. You always needed the newest cars. You always needed the nicest, fanciest crib, whatever the case may be. You come into this truth, you might catch hell financially, and it kind of puts you in a different state of mind as far as just, things in the world or money-wise, and I'm going to go into that in a second. It says, verse 2, set thy heart aright and constantly endure and make not haste in the time of trouble. Yeah, so constantly endure, man. Everything you go through, keep the name of Yahweh Shai in your mind, man, and in your heart, really, because through all these afflictions, all these hells, everything that might happen to you, you always want to give praises to the Most High, because at the end of the day, there's a greater purpose behind everything that is done. There's a reason behind every, I don't want to say judgment, but there's a reason behind basically every decision that the Lord makes, Being a man of the Lord, or hoping to be a man of the Lord, true men of the Lord, sincerity, you have to understand that the Most High has a greater end game for everything. You might lose something that you held dear, and you are wondering, like, you're thinking like, damn, I thought I was, I was calling on your name, I was doing your work. Why is you letting this thing happen to me, But you gotta understand there's a reason for it. Or maybe there's not a reason for it. At the end of the day, there's no unrighteousness with the Most High, Yahweh. So you have to understand that. Always give praises to him, always give thanks to him, and just always send them prayers. You know, I'm gonna get that because you have to remember Job, man. Job's situation, there was no true, at least that we can see, there was no true reason behind Job's affliction, man, his hell. At least that we can see on our end. You know, it was ultimately the reason was, you know, to see that we're going to test his faith. The Most High Yahweh felt very confident in Job and his loyalty to him, and that's what that was. But you know, ultimately Yahweh took all those things from him and then gave it back to him as a reward, or just because it's the right thing to do, you know. But Job was patient through it all, man. He never forsook the Lord, man. You know, he went through his little motions, you know, that's natural. But at the end of the day, he stayed faithful with the Lord, man. He always endured and he overcame everything that happened. He always put his trust in the Lord. Through all his afflictions, he called on the name of the Lord, man. That's what you brothers need to do, man. This is James chapter 5, verse 10. Take my brethren, the prophets, who have spoken in the name of the Lord, for example, of suffering and affliction and of patience. It says, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy. Exactly. So we, through the story of Job, we've seen the end of the Lord, man. That his ending of everything, he's pitiful and have mercy to them that love him and seek him, man. And that's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to endure and we're trying to push forward in this thing, man. Constantly give our lives, our hearts, our soul, and mind to the Most High, man. So that in the end of all the hell and affliction we're going through, we'll receive the kingdom, man. Those eternal bodies, we'll receive the glory, we'll receive the money, the land, man, the women, everything. Literally everything, man. We'll receive life and happiness, man. Euphoria. Let me get Psalms 34. All right. So this is Psalms 34 and verse, I'm going to start at 17. It says, the righteous cry, and Yahweh heareth and delivereth them out of their troubles. Yeah, so we constantly sighing and crying to the Lord, and he hears us, man. He hears us if you are sincere, man. He's hearing your cries. He's hearing your calls. And he's like, all right, cool, I'm coming. Be patient, man. And whether it may be, you may be in need of a bone, man. You may be needing some money to, you know, handle the situation, pay the bills, you know, get out of the hole, get out of a hole, man. And the Lord will hear you, man. He'll hear you. And then he'll send up something at the last minute, you know. You might get a check from your insurance company saying, oh, you've overpaid this last year. Send you a check for $500, $600, whatever the case may be, man. You might only needed $200 and the Lord gave you $6. You might only needed $100, the Lord gave you $3. You know what I mean? Or he might give you just what you needed, you know. At the end of the day, he makes it happen. It says, the face of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is against them that do evil, to cut off the remembrance of them from the earth. It says, the righteous cry. Oh, Salaki, I went back. Salaki. No, damn. Salaki, I didn't. It says, the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth and delivereth them out of all their troubles. It says, the Lord is nigh to them that are of broken heart, and saveth such be of a contrite spirit. Yeah, so the Lord, he heareth them, man, that are of broken heart, man. And we are of broken heart. Why? We're brokenhearted because we woke up to this truth, man, and we realized all the iniquities that we did, you know, ultimately in our past lives, man. As a nation of people, we look at all the wickedness that we did against the Lord, all the iniquities, man. How many times we disobeyed him. Basically, man, we're brokenhearted because at the end of the day, we have to be in the condition that we're in now because of the choices we made. Ultimately, too, because we love the Lord, man. We see the Lord and his mercy constantly and constantly again, that he is, you know, the things he's done for us, with the things he promised us, man. And we're brokenhearted because we broke the Lord's heart, man. You know, we went against him, man. And, you know, that's hurtful, man. You know how it is if you if you have someone you love and you do them wrong, you feel bad about it, man. You know, you like, damn, man, I should never did that. You start feeling bad about it, and then you get brokenhearted because you broke that person's heart, man. And it says, yeah, save if such, that be of contrite spirit. Yeah, so if you have that contrite spirit, man, he's going to save you, man. And what is that contrite spirit? That contrite spirit is a repentful or a remorseful spirit, man. If you feel sorry for the things that you've done, you literally repent. You're constantly repenting to the Lord, constantly repenting for all the iniquities that you've done in this life and even your past lives, man. Or all the iniquities and all the, basically the transgressions that you'll do in the future, even if it be not of your own accord, of your own will, you know? Us as men of the Lord, hopeful elect, those are the things that we put, that's the vibration we put out. That's the energy we put out to the Lord, that he sees that sincerity that we're in, man. He saved us because we're of a contrite spirit. And this is the point, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai delivereth him out of them all. Yeah, so many are the afflictions of the righteous. So if you are a righteous man of the hopeful elect, you're in sincerity, you're doing the Lord's work, you're constantly having faith and believing on the Lord, man, you're going to have afflictions because he's constantly putting you through the trials, man. He's putting you through the fire to build you up, to make sure you come out refined and beautiful, man, and ends meet. And, you know, you're supposed to rejoice in all your afflictions too, you know. Constantly give up praise to the Most High, man. Constantly just endure every little situation. Always try to remain, you know, in some kind of a happy spirit, you know, through, if you know, whatever. Just don't be ungrateful, man. Or don't constantly worry and stress, because the Lord will frown upon it. Like, yo, don't you have faith in me? You know, you going through financial situations. Ah, man, why am I going through this? Or you constantly like, yo, man, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? This shit bullshit. Bro, just let it go. Like Yahweh, man. Send a prayer to Heavenly Father. Do the work. And then keep going. And eventually the Lord will deliver you, man. Let me see. I'm going to get this in 1 Peter. 1 Peter. First Peter 4 and verse 12. It says, Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing had happened unto you. Yeah, so it says, don't think it's strange, man, as when you go through these fiery trials, because it's to try you, man. It's to make sure, it's to build you up. It's to teach you a lesson, man. Every little thing you go through is to teach you a lesson. You should take a lesson out of everything you go through, whether it be financial, whether it be physical, whether it be mental, spiritual, whatever the case may be. You know, you're supposed to learn from that. Personally, my financial trials that I'm going through, I've been going through for a while now, honestly. But at the end of the day, every single month, I've noticed that the Lord has still been merciful upon me, because at the end of everything, one thing will arise. Damn, how am I going to pay this? The Lord make it happen. Next thing, shit, damn, how am I going to pay this? The Lord make it happen. Then the next month, I feel like, damn, all right, I'm finally catching back up. I'm getting back on track with my finances. Something else come up. Damn, how am I going to pay this? But at the end of the day, the Lord always makes a way for it to come. It'd be some of the craziest stuff that happens, man. Literally. Also, too, he set up for, you know, my woman to help me out in these different situations. She was, you know, blessed with having a pretty good, decent paying job, and to where she has the spirit to constantly want to give and help out. So, you know, that's also a blessing too. But ultimately, the reason why, personally, the lesson I've taken from what I've gone through is because when I was in the world, I set up a certain standard of life to where I always had to get the newest car. I was switching my cars every year, every 2 years, man. I was making very hasteful decisions without really thinking about them, really meditating on it. I was just making dumb financial decisions, putting myself in debt, constantly financing things monthly and not really worrying about the build-up. So it kind of caught up to me. But it's a good thing because I learned a very valuable lesson. I really learned the lesson to be frugal and content. So with the things that I have, I'm very frugal about, you know, my spending now. Certain things that I buy, I don't need the fanciest things. I don't need this. I don't need that. You know, the Lord will give me a bone or two. You know, that's good. But it's a lesson, and I'm still going through the lesson. I'm still learning, but I finally believe that I'm in the end game. I finally got the whole message that the Lord was trying to send me. And I think I got it now. So I'm going to continue to send up those prayers and just keep pushing forward, doing the Lord's work, man. And I can see it. I can see it happening, man. I got blessed with with a new job that's going, it's giving me more time to do the work. I don't have to work long hours anymore. I don't have to work 6-7 days a week anymore. But paying me decent to make sure I can pay my bills. Let's see. Where was I at? It says, verse 13, but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Yahweh's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. Yeah, so we're partakers in Yahweh's suffering, man. Yahweh suffered far worse than we're suffering now, man. But we're partakers in that, and we're gonna be joint heirs in the kingdom of Yahweh, man. So we're gonna have that glory too. Yahweh said the works that he do, we're gonna do even greater works, man. Man, that's a blessing. Yahweh did some bad things, man. He did some cool things, man. And we gonna do that and even greater works. Crazy. Let me get let me go to this for edification. This is pretty much self-explanatory. This is Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 16. It says, for a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Self-explanatory, man. A just man, a righteous man falleth 7 times. So you're going to constantly fall. You're going to constantly make mistakes. That's why you got to be perfect in the spirit, because it's like the scriptures say, the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So as long as we in these fleshly weak bodies, man, we're going to constantly go off. We're going to fall. We're also going to fall down. We're going to get weak. You can't always be on fire all the time, man. Sometimes your spirit might weary a little bit, but then next week your spirit might be on fire and weary. It's a balance. At the end of the day, the Lord delights in a just balance. So always make sure you're getting that righteous balance too with everything. You can't be too much in the scriptures, but you can't be too much in the world. You know what I mean? So like with that, you can study, every day. You can read every day, watch videos daily. But from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed, every single day, you don't always want to just overwhelm yourself in the spirit with just constantly saying the scriptures, because you'll burn yourself out, man. There's a lot of self-inflicted hell you can go through. Some trials come from the Lord just to try you, but then a lot of things, there are some things that, brothers, you can go through that are self-inflicted from not being circumspect, not making smart decisions, But everything is already ordained, man. The going's a man of his own. So, anything that happens, man, is all in the Lord's will. I'm gonna get this last precept, because this is really like the point of everything. So if you're wondering why you're going through these things, because it's to try you, to build you up in the spirit. Ultimately, in order to get in the kingdom, you got to go through these things. It's not a smooth walk into the kingdom. Like it said in the scriptures, it's like the path to the kingdom is a straight and narrow path. It's like likened to one side is like the raging waters and fire on the other, man. Let me see if I can find this precept. Yep. This is Acts 14:22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. So to enter into the kingdom of Yahweh, man, you have to go through much tribulation. Like the scriptures say, blessed are they that endure unto the end. So you're not blessed really, truly, until you endure all the way into the end, man. That's when you'll be blessed with the kingdom. That's when you'll be blessed with the new bodies. That's when you'll be blessed with your glory, man. When you endure unto the end, you do the Lord's work, you have faith, you believe on him, and you endure, man. And that's it, man. Lord willing, this video was edifying to you, brothers, man. Come back to you in the spirit with another video, Lord willing. I just want to say peace and blessing to you, brothers out there, of the hopeful elect, you sincere brothers pushing this word. Shalom.